answers. We can speculate, but there's not really a hard answer to that question. In the meantime, there are other officials who belong to AIPAC right now who are awaiting sentencing on charges also that they've passed sensitive American information to the Israeli embassy. They were supposed to, in the past couple of years, come to court a few times, and it's always been delayed and delayed and delayed, and we're still going through a delaying cycle. Now, I would right now draw your attention to the fact that I don't know what type of sense it makes to, if the wars that are breaking out in the Middle East, and I don't argue the point, I think it's very valid, the wars that the United States now is involved in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq, are wars obviously for oil. That's true. We have an economic beast in Washington that thinks with its stomach, and it's a predator on the world scene. That's true. There's no argument about that. But when you come to think about it, if this is the way the machine in Washington thinks, then why is it? I mean, it's just a little simple mathematical view of the world. You have a Muslim world out there that is rich in natural resources, the number of which is around 1.7 billion. And then you have a nation state in occupied Palestine, the population of which is around 5 million. Now, if you're looking for oil, there's no oil in the Holy Land. None. Period. So why is it that you have all of this foreign policy skewed in such a deliberate and awkward manner towards an interest group of people, like the argument in the book right here that was referred to earlier, at the expense of almost 1/4 of humanity? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from any way you approach it, which also places a very serious question mark on the internal relationship between Zionism and imperialism. Who's calling the shots here? Then we come to the issue of anti-Semitism. This is an issue that, you know, the Zionist crowd and the Zionist lobby and the Zionist media, they resort to it when they can't face facts with facts, and when they can't present a cogent argument for their point of view. All of a sudden, someone is an anti-Semite. Wait a minute here. Especially a person like me who spent many years speaking against the types of imperialist and Zionist policies. All of a sudden, this accusation, well, the person is an anti-Semite. Let's first of all ask ourselves, who's a Semite? Are we to say the Semites are the Jews only, and the other peoples of the Semitic lands of the Middle East are not Semites, meaning those who are Arabs are not Semites? This issue is one of those issues that is buried in the public mind. It's almost automatic. This is the extent of control that is exerted on public opinion by the Zionist interest, that anytime someone thinks of a Semite, they think of a Jew. Anytime someone thinks of an anti-Semite, they think of a Jew hater. Well, there's information for these people who run around throwing these accusations through, of course, the extensive media network that they have, that Palestinians are Semites. Arabs are Semites. The Arabic language is a Semitic language. As a matter of fact, for those who don't know very much about this, the reconstruction of the Hebrew language itself relied to a certain extent on the preservation of the Semitic Arabic language. So why come and say, if a Palestinian is against Zionism and against Israel, that a Palestinian is anti-himself? How can that be? A Palestinian is a Semite. An Arab is a Semite. Let's be clear on that. So don't come, especially some of these Zionists that look more Aryan than they look Semites. You take a look at them when they stand up and they accuse someone like me or someone else who has very serious remarks about the Israeli nation state. Say, you're an anti-Semite. Say, go to a mirror and look at yourself. Do you racially qualify to be a Semite? And I can extend the argument even further. Do you scripturally qualify to be a Semite? So let's put this canard behind us. I don't accuse a Semite of being an anti-Semite, and you have monopoly over money, but you're not going to have monopoly over ideas. The facts speak for themselves. And then, if Arabs and Palestinians are not Semites, what are they? Tell us. Don't leave this a vacuum. Come out. Express for us who are the Palestinians and who are the Arabs who are opposed to Israeli Zionist policy. What are they? What racial classification do you give them? Speak out. Come on, let us hear you. They won't. Because the facts are not on their side. Another indicator that will help us diffuse the internal relationship between Zionism and imperialism. Remember the summer before last, the summer of 2006. There was an Israeli war that crippled Lebanon. Virtually all the infrastructure of that country was destroyed. The bridges, the highways, the road system, everything. During that time, the United States, especially the United States foreign policy officials, were virtually cheering the Israelis to finish off the Islamic resistance in Lebanon. This is an area that really needs some type of genuine thinking. The State Department can no longer rehash. You see, the people in the area are not living in the 18th and 19th or even in the 20th century any longer. There's a new breed of people. And there has been talk that the United States has suffered in the past half a century at least a very serious intelligence failure. It shocked them. They didn't know how to reorganize the intelligence community. They didn't know how to reorganize the CIA. They put together a Department of Homeland Security, and now they don't know how to communicate with each other. One computer system is different from the other. They woke up and realized, hey, we don't have intelligence operatives who can speak Arabic. I mean, they do have a few of them, but it's nowhere near what they really need in this new world. Where they're waking up to a new world. Okay, let's help them wake up. Let's stimulate them. Let's tell them that there's a new breed, a new generation of people out there who are not going to take it any longer. You can't come in with your militaries and plant all of these military bases, which you saw on the screen here a short while ago. Proliferate these military bases all over the area and think it's colonialism all over again. No. That era has lapsed. It's gone. You have to wake up to this reality. But who do you speak to? People who are fed with this false